Would you lay that on your mama's yard? Well, if you wouldn't lay it on your mama's yard, then I don't want it on my customer's yard. Okay, guys. Good morning. It's Sunday morning. I'm headed over here to this little skid steer job that I bid it on last week. It's just a little job, $1,100. I'll probably be over there. Well, if I had help, I would have. I had told Toby that I'd pay him $200, but after that side job and all the, negative stuff, so I want to address a couple of the comments and then I'm gonna move on. So, I know a lot of you guys were saying, man, you should have stayed at the job. You could have helped him and all this. Look, y'all, that was not the deal. I didn't even want to do the sod job. Let's get a few things perfectly clear. I don't like doing sod. Okay. When I do sod, I normally ask the guys that work for me if they want to do it, and if they do, then I'll bid accordingly. Once I bid on the job, then there ain't no changing nothing, and I'm bidding it based on my history with that kind of work and knowing, well, I mean, it ain't rocket science, y'all. Let's just keep it real, man. And, I've had a lot of guys, in the comments, and I appreciate all the comments, man, really, because it makes you think. I mean, I'm just bamboozled by you guys, some of you guys justifying, all that. If a guy tells me he's got experience and adamantly, I mean, it ain't just like, yeah, I've done a pallet of sod too. No, it's like every time I said something to him over there, when we were over there, he got mad. He pretty much told me, I got it, Ray. Just go on and do what you need to do. I got it. So me being the control freak that I am, that was very hard for me just to walk off and not micromanage everything. But I'm trying to give the employee the benefit of the doubt. And you see what happens when I do that. You see, so don't blame me, on the next employee that comes out here, and man, you need to release some of that power and let them, be them and all that. I mean, and as soon as I do that, you see what happens. I have to end up going back and micromanaging, and then on top of all of that, when I called Toby and told him about, number one, I told him while we was over there, and he argued the whole time, which creates a bad environment I don't want to be in. And it's such a small, simple little job. I'm thinking to myself, he can handle that, man. It's a 2-pallet sod job, and 1 pallet's already on the ground. So, I mean, and I paid for that. I had one guy come in and said, well, would you do those 2 pallets for $275 labor? I have. I'm not doing that now, but I have done that in the past. Damn right I have. A whole lot. So, I don't know what, but it ain't about me. It's about what Toby and I agreed on before I ever even bid at the job, dude. I mean, what the hell, man? Because at the end of the day, I did not want to even do a sod job. I don't even like doing sod. Period. There ain't no, I mean, period. So, you can come at me all sideways all you want, but at the end of the day, $275 for that little job over there, and I brought the skid steer too, and then I did all the watering too. Somebody's got to do that. So, I guess if I wasn't over there, then he would have had to stand there another 45 minutes to water it. Because he was going to wait till it was all on the ground to water, which I don't agree with, so I started watering it. But, because I didn't even want to do the job. I was trying to get him top dollar. I ended up making $475 over there, and I had to go back. So, his $275 ain't much less than what I made. And I had to do all the logistics, everything. Go down there and load the sod up, load the skid steer up, unload the skid steer, load the sod up, load the skid steer back up. I mean, come on, man. And I probably profited maybe $450, maybe, and I had to go back. So, yeah, pulling a skid steer 20 miles. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. But I'm gonna get over here on this job, and I'm gonna keep all the money, because I'm not gonna let a guy come out there and on his last week start screwing me up on all the properties that he's doing, because he don't give a damn. That's, you know, I really don't think that he knew, you know, that those side pieces up by the road were bad pieces. I don't think that he knew that. So I ain't saying that he intentionally sabotaged. I'm saying he don't know what he don't know. And that's what I was trying to tell him the whole time. He didn't want to listen, so I got pissed. He was pissed because I was there micromanaging, and then they ended up having to go back over there anyway. Come on, man. Y'all killing me, man. Killing me! See, I'm going to catch hell coming out. I'm going to have to turn this whole rig around, man. Looks like they cut the grass. So this might be a grass cutting job I end up getting too. You never know. So I just need to offload the machine and get all the tools that I need off, and that's what I need to do. I don't need to be and then I can I can turn the trailer around and all that. So yeah, that's the scoop on yesterday. It wasn't his fault the sod was bad, but what's his fault is him telling me that, you know, that all that sod's fine, and y'all saw the pieces that I picked up. I mean, would you lay that on your mama's yard? Well, if you wouldn't lay it on your mama's yard, then I don't want it on my customer's yard. There is a certain percentage of waste on every sod job. On every job, I've never used 100% of the pieces ever, not ever. So I am not going to have bad mojo. I'm going to get this $1,100 right here for about 4 hours of work solo, and I'm going to thrive. It's what I do. So yeah. So the first thing that I'm going to do, this is what they called me for it originally, but then when I got over here, they were saying, well, you know, all these woods look terrible, and it got vines all over there, and I was trying to figure out how to charge her where I could do more than just this. This is not worthy of the skid steer at all. So I'm just gonna pull the skid steer up right here, climb up on the bucket, and I'm gonna cut all this off. I'm gonna cut the whole branch off. What I may do is try to grab it with the grapple and pull it down and see if it'll break off, and then but I can just about reach that with a pole saw if I just stand up to put the bucket right here. And see, this is what I would have Toby doing while I'm doing something else. This would be one of the jobs that the guy on the ground would just take care of with a pole saw. Right? But if they can't lay pieces of sod down, then you know, just FYI, y'all, this is not got nothing to do with work or whatever. Look at this freaking pine tree right here, y'all. Can you freaking believe that, man? Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look how big that damn tree is, y'all. Wow. That's probably one of the biggest pine trees I've ever seen. Single stalk pine tree I've ever seen. But you see, we didn't even talk about these out here. You see these vines? I'm gonna get these freaking vines. Look at them, man. We're gonna do everything that I told her, and then I'm gonna do some extra, because I'm in a machine, you know, and I don't have to. Well, it's not that hard to work when you got a machine like this, and of course you got to pay for the machine. So yeah, so let's go up here and grab one of the pole saws. I'll probably just grab the Milwaukee one for now. Lightweight, where I ain't got to make a lot of noise. We'll see if it'll cut those branches. And then at the bottom of the tree, you see, this is another thing I talk about all the time with judgment. Experience and judgment is everything out here. She only needs that one branch gone. because it'll hit a truck coming in here. But I'm going to trim that branch, that's a given, and then I'm going to go around the tree trimming all them lower branches, neaten it up. Come over here and I'm going to do the same thing right here. I'm just going to whack them off at the end so they don't keep intruding. Probably reach up here and cut that off. Probably reach up here and cut that pine branch off at the end right there. Then as we creep on down through here, well, there's a lot of things I noticed since I got here this morning. Look at this right here. Look at this big hole in the ground right here. So look at that. Look at them big holes. Those are probably some kind of critter. So she didn't really want me to go up in the woods here. Well, she didn't say. Of course, I'm going to get some of these things where they're off the driveway. So one of the main parts of the job is a big cedar tree over there at their son's house. But all in here is what I'm talking about. So from right here, and I'm probably going to just have to creep over there into the woods and just kind of go down that line, pulling things back that way. They're going to put a shed right here. There's a big shed. So all this stuff right here that you see, the vines and all, and you see how big those vines are. So I'm going to grind all this stuff down, all this, push it back about 8 feet from the outside edge of that ditch, give or take. It ain't, you know. I get the skid steer up in the woods right there, and I come in this way, and I'll pull all this stuff back and grind it down. I want to try to pull the vines out of the ground where they go in the ground at. If you can do that, and I don't know if you guys can see, but you see the big vine right there? It's almost as big as my arm. You see it goes into the ground right there. If I pull it up right there, then it might die. And that vine probably has a lot over here, you know? And that's just what we can see from right now. So let me put some oil in the pole saw. I'll try to get as much footage as I can, but I can't, you know, compromise the job trying to do that. So I'm gonna grab the tripod and I'm gonna set y'all up somewhere where y'all can kind of see. I'll be using the new saw today on that cedar tree over there. I'm not gonna walk over there and get no footage of the cedar tree right now. Yeah. talked with her for just a brief moment, just to kind of go over everything real quick. I'll try to get a little bit of footage. I'll get some footage over. I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of the before. I'm kind of. She told me I could turn around in her front yard. So I'm like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And I'm like, because there's nowhere to turn around at, and you know, without getting on the grass. So, but her septic's in the back, and she acted like it wasn't a big deal. She said, "You could park on the grass if you wanted to." And I'm like, well. But apparently they got some, and this is the thing about doing jobs on the weekend and stuff. Apparently, you know, like I said in the video the other day, I think I told y'all, they are actually moving in, and they haven't moved in yet, but I think they got some people bringing some of their stuff today. But this job pays $1,100, and that's what it pays. So, and I don't have to give. I was going to have Toby come in. I was going to give him $200, but for, you know, about 4 hours. I'll probably be over here 5 hours, and I'll just keep the whole $1,100. That's why I buy the equipment, right? You see, I don't like being this close to where I'm working. All right, y'all. Oh, y'all hear that AC kicking? It'll probably fall down the dam. That's only on 2. There's vents everywhere. You got one there, you got one there, you got one there. Yeah, you got, I don't know why they put that vent behind the cup holder right here. That doesn't make no sense, so I just shut it off. And then you got one right there. So, yeah, man. Plenty of vents in here. So, real quick, I just talked to her. I think they went to church or something. But, well, I told her that, you know, I'm going to kind of clean up everything around here. Things that I know that she might not even recognize. So when they were pulling out, I was trimming this tree that I'm under right now here by the road, where I trimmed that other tree across the street, across the driveway right there. So y'all see this? I don't know if y'all can see through my dirty window. But y'all see the those vines coming out of the ground where they're going all up in here and choking the tree? I told her when they were leaving, I said, look, I'm gonna pull this stuff up. I can't guarantee that I can, and that's not a part of our deal. That's not a part of nothing. These are just things that I'm gonna do here, and I don't even have no help, and I'm gonna do that. You know, which is outside of what we talked about. I make it kind of hard for people to cry about the money, really. Because they agreed to $1,100, and I showed y'all the scope. It ain't got nothing to do with this. And she even told me, she said, well, look, I'd rather you get that up than the big tree over there on the other property. And what I told her, I can do both. So, and I'm solo. So, yeah, I don't want to run over no tools. That's one thing about, you know, being on a job like this by yourself. You got to make sure that the tools are out of the way. And that's, when I have a ground guy, y'all, no lie. When I have a ground guy, his #1 responsibility is to make sure I don't run over nothing. I mean, back into nothing. You know, if he's standing around, he's, you know, that's his #1 job as the machine is doing the work. Guys that come out here, they tend to, well, they want to play with their phone and all that. Well, I ain't got. I'm just what I'll turn around and look, and they'll be sitting on the trailer playing with their phone while the machine's doing the work, and I could be backing into something, and they're not there to, you know. So, yeah. So that's one of the biggest things, because there ain't no sensors on this thing to show you finna back into something. You got a camera, but that's it, and the camera will watch you back right up into whatever you back in. So yeah, without further ado, are you serious, man? They actually pay me for this? A job? A 9 to 5? Come on, man. Wow. This is how you learn about your machine. And just FYI, and stuff like this, all these pine needles, drainage, and shade, B-O-L-O, be on the lookout for the bees, the bee holes, and all that. So And of course, you get on up into there, you're talking about snaky and all that. But snakes love dead pine and stuff. And I'm fixing to raise hell in here. So I'm gonna set y'all over here. Hopefully I don't hit y'all, but I might. It'll be all right. And we'll just go from there, y'all, right? So just FYI, y'all, there's a small, there's a small calculated gamble that you take when you start pulling the vines down, because, well, things get, the vines get really intertwined. Look at all this right here. All that is affected by what I dug up here. So then you got to ask yourself, now, am I going to come up in here and knock all that down? I don't have to. It's gonna die because I dug it all out. None of this is going into the ground nowhere. See, this is all dug out. What I can do after I put the brush cutter on, I'll come over here and I'll just drop the easy brush cutter right down on top of all this dirt, pine straw, or whatever, just to kind of kick it around. There was a pile of debris here already, dirt or something. So, but see, ain't none of that gonna live. All that's gonna die now. But the more you pull, the more you're taking a chance on pulling a tree over or something. So there's a fine line between doing a solid and creating a lot more work on the job. There's a bee hole right there, y'all. Oh my God, let me get up out of here, man. What I love about them closed cabbage, y'all see? This was not even included, y'all. So it's hard to fire rate. I'm just saying. I'm gonna get the pole saw real quick and cut some of these off so they don't get all over the place. Then when I bring the brush cutter over here, I'll just ease it down on all this stuff. But that's a little bit too much for the brush cutter and viney stuff. If I was just gonna brush cut this, I just would have brush cut it. Ran the mulching head right there, but that ain't gonna do nothing. This right here, this shit ain't. Look at the water coming out of it, man. Look how fresh that shit is. Y'all see that water dripping out of it? Yeah. These vines are brutal, man. So this piece right here that I got on here that I pulled out of the big pine tree or whatever, I'm just gonna leave it right here, and I'm gonna I'm gonna grab whatever I can grab, and then whatever's left is what I'm gonna mulch out. So I just don't want the vines to get wrapped around my mulching head. Well, sometimes they will, and I don't want to. I'm over here solo. I don't want to be doing all that. So yeah, it ain't even 10 o'clock, man. Once y'all see me put that cutter head on, it's on and popping, because I'm probably going to go up in the woods on the back side of that of that drainage up there, where my truck is. And what I'll probably do is I'll go in there and with the grapple bucket first and grab a bunch of that stuff, so when I do kick the cutter on, it's not going to make a huge mess. Though they said they didn't care. I told her it would not be neat. They said that they understood, but they're going to put a big shop right there, so you're not even going to be able to see it from anywhere. They just wanted me to do that before they put the building in. Yeah, well, the AC's kicking, y'all. I see. Okay, y'all. So I'm going to ease my truck up a little bit. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cutter on there, and I'm going to go up in here and cut it, and then just see what's left, and then I can pick up and with the grapple again. And because the cutter's going to help me with everything, I can reach here and cut these some of these branches off. Though I know it won't be pretty, they don't care, but they're going to put a shed right here. So Toby is supposed to come over here and get the title to the car and bring me the money, the tags. So he's not responding to my text right now. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna put y'all right here, and I'm gonna get over and I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna try to reach across this gully here. All right, y'all, the camera got hit and it knocked over. I was glad I looked at it. It didn't get me getting none of this. Okay, y'all, so y'all see kind of where I'm at. I'm gonna take a little break, let the machine cool down a little bit. It ain't running hot or nothing, but I got this big piece of vine hung up in the cutter there, so it's a good time to take a little break. What I found with this particular mulching head, I guess they call it a rotary cutter mulcher. And y'all know I've had it about a year. Well, everything is so far. But one thing about the forestry, the one thing about this particular cutter versus a forestry mulcher, well, number one, my machine can push this really good. Now, I know there's a forestry mulcher. I've seen a guy on YouTube that makes videos, and he's got a 75.3. And I don't know, I don't know exactly which one it is, but the mulchers are expensive. And I may get one at some point, but when I do get one, it's going to be for this machine on the bottom side, and it's going to be really rated for, 40 GPM or whatever. Cause this is only 29.8 or GPM. That's gallons per minute on the hydraulics, and that's what that's the only thing that matters on these skid steers is the GPM. If you got low GPM like my Bobcat T190, it's like 16.3 gallons per minute. It probably wouldn't even push this. This is a high flow attachment. My T190 was just, it said it had high flow, and it has something, but it wasn't, it's so old, I could hit the high flow button, you could tell a difference, but it wasn't much. So, but this thing doesn't really grind things up small like a forestry mulcher. That's the biggest thing. So It takes some getting used to, because you can go in here and you can grind, and you can, if you cut a tree off, that's not the smartest thing to do. The smartest thing to do is to come down it and just grind it, instead of cutting it off, letting it fall on the ground, and then grinding it. This thing does not pick up good off the ground. So you see all the stuff in the ditch here. I'm gonna use the grapple for that. But what I found, since this doesn't do real fine, you know, is if I just cut things off and get things semi ground up, then I come back with a grapple bucket and just drag it, and then just, you know, I don't have to do that, but yeah, I like the before and after. Okay, so this is what it looks like after. Not perfect, but this is not all I did either. I took a tree down over there. I took all that stuff out front, but this right here was all vines. It looks great, man. That little cutter right there ain't no joke, man. But yeah. So yeah, man. So on the money tip here, $1,400. It's 3:30, so it is you know, a little longer day than normal. And if I'd have had a guy out here, I still would have had to be here till 3. You know, that was my deal, kind of, you know, because they had a lot of stuff spread around. So I said, I'll just bring it over here for, you know, $1,100, and then they added a tree on, so I just another $300. It took me like 25 minutes to get the tree pushed over, picked up, and took to the woods. So yeah, man, feel pretty good. Now if I'd have had somebody out here with me, you know, I would have gave them $200, and it just would have made my job a little bit easier, but I still would have been out here. But y'all gonna see how close it. Y'all just saw me pull out of there, and look, I'm gonna pull into my neighborhood right now. So I love it. I love it. 1,400, 6 hours. Cha-ching. Yeah, I said it. Cha-ching. So tomorrow, I got another guy coming in, and we're gonna see how it goes, man. I don't know if I'll get him on video. Probably not. I don't like to put the guys on video, even if they want to be, when they first come out. I gotta kind of see what they about, man, before I put them on video. All of them want to be a star. Tell you what, boy, that was great, man. That was an easy job, man. I wish I could do a job like that about twice a week. That'd be sweet. Long way from $5 grand a day, but I'll take it. I will take it.